What is going on, guys? Alright. Gonna edit the video here. Hope you guys had a good trading day. Hopefully you guys been trading well. Today was a 200 and I guess it was 12K day. Oops. Change documents. Alright, there's that. Okay, cool. And then today is 5-3. Again, hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Today was an opportunistic day again. We kind of knew that was going to be a thing. There's that. Okay. And we're going to go. Alright, just posting this here. Posting that there. Going to small caps. Options, alerts. I'm gonna go over here and go like this. And then I'll go like this. Alright. Alright, guys. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed your trading day. Hopefully you guys, been trading well. There was a lot of moving parts today, but a lot of opportunities to say the least. And hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of that. 1 second here. Did I not post the P&L in the... I hate when I don't do that. Alright, we'll go here and go like this. 1K. There's that. Alright, I'm going to save that. Okay. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys had a great trading day. Hopefully you guys traded well. BTX, RHE, PRPO. We had, what was the other one going today? AMS. Wait, what's that doing now? AMS. No, not really much there. There was another one. Can do AHT and then what's the other one? Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Again, guys, a lot of opportunity and a lot of volatility today. It felt nice to kind of be back. Alright, cool. Posted that. And then we'll go over today's day, guys. Let's go live on TikTok as well. Twitter, make sure I post it there. Alright, cool. Alright. So we're kind of go over today's trading day pretty quick here. I gotta go live on Instagram. I forgot about that. Today was definitely a great day. You know, I banked really hard on RHE overnight. My overnighted RHE and my inherited IRA. Yeah, today was a 7-figure day for me, and it feels good to kind of make back those losses that I had on that stock that I lost 7 figures on a week or two ago. And so, what's going on, Marco? What's going on, Clear Sky Drone? What's going on, Almer? What's going on, Keto? What's going on, Steve Austin? What's going on, 3D? What's going on, everybody? I'm sorry that my camera froze. Sometimes it does that. I apologize. So yeah. But today was an awesome day. You know, I had a couple of rough patches over the past last month, and you know, kind of had a bit of a slower month, but you we're already, starting off hot, which is great. It feels good to kind of have a day like today, where, us as traders, we strive to be better every single day, and we strive to make smarter decisions every single day, and that's really where, learning from one another can really help with that. That's why I come on here every day for you guys to kind of learn from what I'm doing, learn from my mistakes, learn from my weaknesses, but also learn from my strengths as well. And so the big trade I took today was RHE. I actually had an overnight on this thing, and basically BTX, right? So this thing is just being an absolute monster. That's all it is. It's just being a beast. And you could see, we're really starting to get a ton of volatility. And when I saw this candle basically just enclose or take over this candle right here, I saw this kind of go up, then we had a red day, and then the next day it just basically just punched through the highs and then some. I was like, okay, we're most likely going to get a gap up on this play. But I wanted to take a low-risk idea, meaning, sure, I could have got in this overnight. I could have been taking all the dips once I saw that candle once I saw it get above like $50 even. There's a lot of things that go into this, guys, and I could go on and on and on. I don't have time to explain as much as I wish I would like. A lot of this is covered in my course, but I'll say that, so seeing this huge extension this quickly, right? Okay, and then seeing this red day. Now, generally, I like to see at least 2 red days on the daily before seeing a bounce play. And generally, the bounce play never retests the highs of a parabolic, right? So let's say, it comes down to 54, and then day 1 we're here, and day 2 we're down in here, and maybe we get down to $21, $22, maybe $24 a share, okay? Then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm looking at day 2 red, day 3 red, and I'm like, okay, well, we can see a bounce that day, and I expect nothing more than 35 to 40 with the data that I have and the amount of time that I've been trading and all that stuff. You guys think this happens overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. I've been trading 3.5 years now, almost 4 years full time, and it's, I continue to build my process, my plan, and my strategy to continue to give me that edge that I need every single day to be a better trader. And so I'm just giving you an example that I thought was going to happen where, we get day 2 red and then maybe a bounce, or worst case scenario, day 3 red right in the $23, $24 range, okay? And maybe just under $20. But anyways, we didn't get that. We got day 1 red, then we got a day 2 try and red, but then it just retakes that high there, okay? And when I saw that, once it got about like over 45 to 50, I'm like, okay, this thing has a ton of strength. It's not just a little move here and then kind of fail off like I thought maybe. It was a move, and then a dip, and then a dip, right? And right here would have been a hell of a dip entry. I actually had it and made a couple K on it, but then after hours we just kept going. And then today we gapped, and in that right there, right, I knew that we had gapped here, okay? That was awesome. Right, and I knew that in my mind, once I saw the stock right in here, I knew that I was going to have to try and find a sympathy play, because in my mind, I felt like this was going to continue to go. I didn't know when, I didn't know how long it was going to take, but it confirmed to me the strength of this thing. And then we had a nice move after hours. Okay, and then this thing gapped as well here. And then we just basically consolidated and started to rip again, right? And this thing is on watch going into tomorrow as well. So RHE to me was the clearest sympathy play. Why? Like I was telling you guys on Friday, I told every single one of you guys on the live stream, okay? RHE to me was the clearest sympathy play. It's a healthcare play. It's, in the U.S., it was in the same price range. It had shown price action that was kind of like, if you go back and look at the 15-minute, right? So we had, this pop here from 4 to 7, right? Then we had the next day where we had 5 to 7 almost, okay? And then BTX just kept going, and I was like, okay, this to me is the most clear sympathy play because we had the most volume here, day 1, most volume here, day 2, and then once I saw this thing pop up again right in here, I just basically started to consolidate and play. And I nailed this play here. I nailed the long entries and the sell-off entries day 1 in my challenge account, and I made like a $381,000 trade on this play here on Friday. And then I started to realize, this could be now that it's ran this much, I was basically looking, so now that we moved from 5 to 10, now that I knew that BTX in my mind was going to have a move up because it had gotten through 45 to 50, in my mind I knew that. I didn't know, you never know anything, but in my mind that's where my bias was. I started to basically long all the dips that I could get myself into. I even longed a lot of the dips into the close of my inherited IRA. And I ended up with a 763 average. So basically this move here was confirmation, and I played it in my challenge account, okay? Then I started to build on the dips in my inherited IRA. Once we got through 9 and 10s with that much volume, I was like, okay, this confirmed that it's sympathy play with that much volume. Kept retesting highs, kept squeezing at shorts, very liquid. To me, that was the head honcho at BTX. There's no other reason why this thing would run. And I've seen sympathy plays in the past, and I know how they react, and that's just, I've seen it time and time again. It helps to have seen it time and time again, and also have been putting in the time to look 5, 10, 15 years ago and see how all that kind of works and how people react to certain situations, right? Just like GameStop, just like, KBIO, just like the shipper sector, right? Or the oil stocks, or just, I've seen so many big runners, and then the sympathies follow behind because people get fear of missing out, they get FOMO, and it can be big time. So basically, once I saw that, I was like, okay, lower risk here. Lower risk meaning this is day one runner. Meaning if they have an offering, worst case scenario, I'm down 20%, right? Worst case scenario, maybe 25%, all right, on all the dips. And that's, like, I'm thinking worst case scenario. So I'm taking all the dips out of a 763 average. Then I saw BTX make that move after hours, and I started to try and I took some, like, literally in my inherited IRA, I had limit buys at 4,000 shares at a time. I got filled some in here, and I got filled some under the right of VWAP at 852, and then I got filled some down in here at 841 and 831, and then I had some at 826, I believe, that I got nicked on too. I got some fills on that as well. Basically just realizing that BTX made that move, and then I wanted to take any kind of dips I could on RHE because that, to me, the next day was going to gap up and we're going to get sympathy continuation from RHE. Now, I thought it was going to be after hours. Didn't think it was going to move like that, but it still made the move. It doesn't matter either way. Here's the crazy thing. This weekend, I didn't sleep very well, right? On Saturday, I wasn't in my bed. I was sleeping at my house, and I ended up, basically I ended up having to sleep there that night, and I couldn't fall asleep very well. We're still kind of remodeling and things like that. So yesterday, then we ended up going with some friends, we ended up going to the Tulip Festival. And I was extremely exhausted all day long. I had to get some coffee in me. First time I could say in a long time where I actually needed coffee. I don't rarely say that, right? So I just was like, you know what? And we ended up getting back kind of late yesterday as well. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fall. I need the sleep. And I knew today was gonna be good. But again, I don't mind missing the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes because my biggest losses generally come about within the first 30 minutes to an hour. That's where I lost my 7-figure trade, and I'll never forget it. I look back at my trade review stats. That's generally where I don't do a whole lot. So I had no problem sleeping in an extra 30 to 45 minutes because I really needed it. And I had very high confidence in RHE as long as there wasn't an offering that I woke up to. And literally, I say this to motivate. I say this to inspire. I say this to, I say this to show you what really can happen in the market. That's all. The only reason why I'm saying this. And so I made basically almost 7 figures in that inherited IRA sleeping. Like in here, I was dead asleep. And I know it sounds crazy, but I was dead asleep right in here. And in these moves here, I was making a couple $100,000 every 5 minutes. But I know it sounds crazy, but that is the reality of trading, and that was the definition of basically it being pretty passive. People think that day trading and that people think that swing trading, you have to be very active, and the reality is I wasn't active on this at all. On the big core position that I had, I basically started to long some in here, and I took some into the close. Right in here, I was just trying to take all the dips that I could, right? And then I woke up and, I basically started to scale up in here. I took it off at 1430s, 1470s, and then the rest off like right in here. And it continued to go without me. Then I started to play it in my challenge account, right? No, I know that's the joke, Alan. Like you were sleeping real good, but I really was. I was exhausted. I needed that sleep. And so, yeah, I mean, so that was an awesome feeling. But I want that for you guys. So I want you to remember, this setup. And I want you to remember everything that I'm telling you. So next time you have the same opportunity, the same mindset, and the same, plan, process, and strategy or similar that I had. So next time, maybe there's a lot of you guys that didn't bank on this. And maybe there's a lot of you guys that didn't create the same opportunity that I did, right? But it happened. It's right there in front of you guys. You can see what happened. I didn't know it was going to go to 16. I didn't know it was going to go to 13. But what I did know, it was lower risk. And if it was a true simile play, which to me it confirmed here, and to me the odds were on my side with the BTX was going to continue to go because of the price action that I was seeing, then this was going to follow. So low risk, high reward. If BTX ends up going to 120, then this is going to pay me out big time, right? It's kind of hard to explain everything in my reasonings in a short period of time, and I go well more in detail on my course about that. And if you go back and look at a lot of my YouTube videos, you might get even more in depth. I have over 500 videos that you can go back and look from to see my how I trade, and I go over my daily recaps and things like that, right? But the most condensed, obviously, videos that I have is my course, no question. If you go back and look at all my YouTube videos, it's going to take you, I don't even know. I have no idea. I bet you it's thousands of hours of content by now. But the best part is I got out of that in my inherited, and then I basically just started longing all the dips. So I started longing in here and longing in here, and I made a nice trade on that as well. So you can see I didn't make too many trades today in my challenge account, right? RHE, 43,000 shares, 1380 in, 1380 in, 1483 out. BTX, a nice little scalp there, 60. So I took a nice trade on BTX, guys. So in my head, I was like, I really want to see this thing dip down under 60, and we got it. And I wanted to kind of retest. And in my mind, once I saw this, I was like, I'm not short biased at all. There's no way I can be short biased, but I'm looking for kind of sell-offs or people to get short confident in it, right? You guys hear my cat? Sorry about that. Anyways, BTX, guys, 4,000 shares, 66.78. So I basically bought some of these dips, and then started adding confirmation, right? And then took a little loser there on that. RHE was a nice little trade there. And then RHE, guys, I was buying a lot of these dips, and I saw this thing, and I was like, okay, my mind was scale over 15, but this thing was consolidated for way too long. And the longer the consolidation, generally the bigger the breakout. So in my head, I was like, okay, now we're gonna move that price target in my back of my head to 16. Now, I was actually taking a bath while this was happening, so I was gonna use my phone to sell out, and then I'm like, well, it got there so quick that I'm just gonna like sit and kind of wait for a second, right? So then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, and then I started to try and add these dips right here, looking for one more movement if BTX went crazy. Well, I ended up paying the price, and that's okay. You figure that out over time. You're not always gonna make every perfect trade, all right? In PRPO, I ended up shorting after hours. I took a nice short with a 744 average, 45,000 shares. So right where this white line is, I started to see this thing go parabolic. So first move, second move, third move on a big move today. To me, that was an obvious short. Again, one move, two moves, and then you could say three moves, then the fourth move even, or one move, two move, three move, right? Generally, I like to buy the third kind of wash, and I like to short the third dip, especially on an extension like that with that much liquidity. You guys can see we went from 180 up to 768. After hours, it was just climbing, and it was extending, and it was just screaming short, right? I'm pretty good at reading the time and sales, and sometimes the rate of speed that the time and sales goes through, I also get a clear feel on longing and shorting that way as well, just on the rate of speed of the tape. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. I've been on here for 20 minutes. I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. Have a plan, a process, and a strategy. I hope that each and every one of you guys learned something new today, took something away from today's stream. I hope that you guys are continuously studying and working hard, because at the end of the day, there's only one thing that wins in this era, or in this I can't call it a game, but in this career, or whether you want to call it a side hobby or whatever you want to call it, and that is knowledge is power. You're only going to separate yourself from that one thing, and that is knowledge is power. And I can't say that knowledge is everything, because it's not. I've seen a lot of people know what they're talking about and then still lose money. And that also comes down to your emotional and psychological capabilities. What do you train yourself to be comfortable through the ups and the downs and the dips and the wanes and all that stuff? It takes time. It takes, the fastest I've ever seen someone become successful is probably, I'll do some name shouts. It's either Ariel, in all honesty, or Steven Dux. Okay, and those guys took about 6 months. I might be wrong. It was about 6 months roughly of full-time studying. Took me about a year of full-time studying to get it profitable. So and I study a lot of people. All right, so that's just to be said. I think Jordan, it took a year and a half, 2 years. I might be wrong, but I've seen so many people, but it also doesn't tell you where your ceiling is going to be either, because I've seen people, not be profitable within the first 4 years, 3 years, and now they're making tens of millions a year. So, there's always a learning curve. It's basically getting to know yourself as best as possible. And then how can you continue to better your trading? And that comes down with studying, guys. You just got to study. You got to put the time in. Guys, those of you guys ask me, what do I study? Well, I have a 26-minute video that explains certain things that you can study. You can study all my YouTube videos. I have over 500 YouTube videos. You study my chat room. I have tons of free content in there. You can study. Guys, the biggest thing, the easiest thing, because I'm not going to go on and on, is just go back and look at PRPO and how it reacted today. Okay, well, I learned that, just because it sells off here around 8 o'clock, we could get a burst through short squeezes, right? And then we just continue to grind. Just get to learn, get to understand how charts and how people react to certain stocks. Go back and look at BTX, and remember this for next time. You can go back and just look at the intraday price action, or go back and look at the multi-day price action, or go back and look at how RHE reacted, right? Or go back and look at MOTS and how it popped up and sold off and how you could have shorted it. I can go on and on. Or go back and look at AMS, or go back and look at ISNS, right? And how it reacted. Okay? The thing is dead. All of a sudden, boom, ripped up, right? Then you can look at here. We ripped again. And basically, this thing ripped again, and you could have been easily here on this dip. You think it's over here? No. You think it's over here? No. Finally, you see 2 rips, and you're like, okay, I confirm. I want to long this thing. And look, right off VWAP, take the long, and rip to 13s, right? So, guys, you can learn so much just from looking at all the top gainers and top losers every single day on your charts, let alone the studying that you can do behind that. All right. So, anyways, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really, really appreciate that. Michi wants out. She's saying, let me out. You made enough money today, all right? It's my turn to get the attention, okay? Get off the screens and let me out of here. That's my cat. All right, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you took something away from today's stream. I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. Have a plan, a process, and a strategy. Free chat, link description below. My course teaching my process, link description below. Brokers that I use, link description below. Brokers that pays you up to 2 free stocks, valued up to $1,400, link description below. Scanners that I use, link description below. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the icon later for my new videos. Cheers.